Fear is sweeping the crypto space right now, as many are wondering, has the cycle topped? What is happening with this big dip in the market? Or is it a big opportunity to get some last minute entries into the top altcoins of the cycle? In this video, I'm going to go over the numerous factors of why we are seeing this price action, and historically why this is really just another step towards the eventual top of the bull market, as well as alt season. I'm going to go over the 4 buys that I am definitely adding to my positions at today's prices because they are dirt cheap compared to where they have been. And on top of that, I'm going to go over some of the biggest opportunities for free money in this market. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we dive into it, guys, and it'll be a quick one to finish off the week, be sure to drop down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every week here on In the Game. We have you covered top to bottom, everything you need to win throughout this bull market. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Nexus Labs, as well as Blowfin, 𝗔𝗫𝗍, and our newest sponsor here on the channel, which is 𝗓𝗏𝗃. And 𝗓𝗏𝗃 is actually a really exciting upcoming platform. First and foremost, they were out at the BNB chain in Seoul event today. Obviously, CZ was present up front and center, but we do see 𝗓𝗏𝗃 here at this event, which is awesome to see. But just going through their platform, creators can jump in here and create games autonomously using AI in just a matter of minutes. You can integrate AI agents into game engines, enabling effortless, autonomous AI world creation. And if you go to just the explore page here on 𝗓𝗏𝗃, you can scroll and start to see some of the mini games that people have created. You can see here's Ronaldo in a soccer game. AI Gamify Revolution here has a Trump character fighting off some underworld demons. Looks like almost the recent South Park episodes. But you can see here, very easy to create mini games, and you can do this with images, content, and more. So be sure to check out 𝗓𝗏𝗃 down below in the description. A really exciting upcoming platform in the crossover AI and gaming space. Let's go ahead and jump into the market, as obviously this week hasn't been friendly. I don't think that there's any hiding that at this point in time. It's just been a rocky week outside of 2 coins, which we'll talk about, the ones that are really carrying the market at this point in time. I think you know one of them. I'm very bullish on one of them, and we front ran this narrative quite heavily. One of the first public YouTube channels to talk about one of these tokens. But just looking across the board on the weekly, it's been a rough one. I mean, Sol's down 14%, Bitcoin's down 5%, Ethereum's down 10%. We see Cardano down 12%, Hyperliquid down 20%. So right now there is a lot of blood, but more so opportunity in the market. And I think the thumbnail of this video is like a red pill, green pill type of thing, kind of like the Matrix. You can either choose to panic or you can choose to see this as an opportunity, which is exactly what I see. Look, we kind of forecasted that we would see a little bit of buy the rumor, sell the news after rate cuts. Now, I thought it would be more immediate. We actually had a pump and then we dumped down to where we are now. So that thesis wasn't 100% accurate. But at the same time, a dip after that announcement is pretty expected. So all in all, I don't think that this is really going to change much whenever it comes to the forecast for the rest of the cycle. We're going to have another rate cut coming up in October and November. Analysts project 3 more rate cuts this year, which is going to be very bullish for the market. Obviously, gold continues to crush, and most of the time that does suck some liquidity out of crypto, but then people will start diving back into Bitcoin whenever that trade plays out. It is, however, kind of baffling just to see like the euphoria one week, and this happens all the time in crypto, just how quickly people's sentiment changes. Crypto fear and greed index drops to 28, which is back in the fear zone, which to me is absolutely ridiculous. And I do agree with a lot of things on this tweet here, why I don't think we've topped. We haven't made one of these since early 2024. Things we're going to cover: on-chain indicators, monthly RSI, business cycle correlation, 50-week MA, recent headlines. It was in the charts, total 3, social, and there's a lot of metrics in this tweet. I'm not going to go through all of them, but a lot of these top cycles or indicators have not hit at this point in time when it comes down to all these categories. So to me, this is just a part of the cycle. Like, this is regular, to be honest, whenever it comes to rate cuts in the 4-year cycle usually. And if we go back real quick and just look at September of 2021, we had a dip in September 2021, right before October. So the red month of September is kind of playing out. I mean, on the 30 days, you see down 2%. So people who thought September was going to be bearish based on historicals, it's looking pretty accurate with 4 more days to go in the month. But nonetheless, there's so much to look forward to in the market. As we see here, ETH does a great job at sweeping the lows, stopping all the longs out, then continuing the uptrend. If we are indeed in a bull market, these sweeps are a buy signal, not the consolidation period before the sweep. And I do agree with that. And just looking across the market today, and we posted this morning in TTOO, our NFT collection, I think our floor is like 0.14 ETH, but we also post some of this information on Nexus in the alpha section. And you can see here, some of the buys this morning were dirt cheap. And actually on the daily now, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce. So just going through some of the ones that I thought were disgustingly cheap, I think Hyperliquid's oversold. And I'm a big ASTER bull. I think ASTER is going to continue to climb. I wouldn't be surprised to see $3, $4, especially when the market turns back up, because it's holding very strong. And we'll talk about ASTER later in the video. But I think Hyperliquid's being disrespectfully priced after that. Like, of course, people are going to rotate profits from Hype over to the new flashy thing. And I think competition's going to be good. I think Hyperliquid's going to start pulling out the stops to try to make sure that they, maintain that narrative as one of the best perps dexes in the space. So I'm looking at Hyperliquid. This morning, it was at like $42, $43. So that was an easy DCA in my opinion. 𝗬𝗎 was nearly at $3. It's up a little bit on the daily, but 𝗬𝗎, this is so, ridiculously cheap at this point in time. I do like 𝗬𝗎 in those low 3 levels. And then moving on down the ladder here, I think Pengu under 3 cents is an easy buy as well. And then I see BitTensor was under $300 this morning, which is ridiculous for the top AI coin. AI, I still believe in as a sector that is going to have a major run this alt season. So BitTensor 𝗏, another one that was just crazily cheap this morning. And then last but certainly not least was 𝗏𝗂. And 𝗏𝗂 went into mainnet, and ever since they went into mainnet, it's kind of been this sell the news event, when in actuality, their blockchain is one of the highest functionality, quickest. They have a Swift code. They work with international banks. So to me, 𝗏𝗂 at 70 cents will end up being a major steal. And I get it. Like, buy the rumor, sell the news. Mainnet went live. A lot of whales are selling because that's a great trade opportunity. But all-time highs above $1.50 here, clean 100% from this current price. I think that 𝗏𝗂 is a great buy. So as far as DCAs go, I would be looking at 𝗬𝗎, 𝗏, Hype, as well as 𝗏𝗂. And then I would put an honorable mention on Pengu, because you want a little bit of meme coin and cultural exposure. But right now, I mean, good things are happening across the coins that we are holding in our portfolio. We see RWAs on AVAX just hit $700 million, which is 4th out of all chains, behind Ethereum, zk-Sync, Polygon, and Avalanche. And also, they just partnered up with FIFA for the World Cup. It's more than a ticket. It's a core memory in the making. Fans can now lock in their right to secure a seat at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with a right to buy digital collectible on FIFA Collect. So FIFA and Avalanche are officially collaborated here on this, and AVAX is holding strong. I mean, it's been one of the weaker majors this cycle. And it really had a hard time when it was suppressed in those $20 to $23 levels. But even today, it was as low as $27. Now it's back up at $29, still up over the month about 16%. And this thing got up to like $33, $34 last week. I think it is definitely very underpriced at this time, because they've done more real world integrations this cycle than almost anyone in the entire space. So very bullish on AVAX. But let's talk about the major trades in the market right now. First and foremost, obviously, is ASTER. And I think that if you were able to get involved early when we got on the show, or you're in one of the groups, whether it's TTOO or Nexus, we bought at 20 cents, and then we also gave it here on YouTube at 30 cents. I mean, I think that this is one of the easiest trades to just set and forget. I don't think you exit this one early. You can take some profits out, ride free, but to me, I don't know if that 4 is promised, but my price projection is a safe $4 on this token. And we obviously see CZ, the iconic meme, throwing up the 4s. And then we go through here. ASTER is yet to announce buybacks. Now, they've said they will do buybacks, but we don't know exactly how much that's going to be. Right now, ASTER DEX over the last 24 hours, let's just go to the fees and revenue here. We can see they've made $16.3 million over the last 24 hours, making on average $12 million a day over the last week. I think that will come at $3 to $4 when they announce buybacks together with spot listing on Binance. Once again, this token is not even listed on Binance. A death blow to the competition is once we breach these levels. Competition is good, but CZ is on another level. It will be the #1 DEX. And you can see here, Pump only invested $2 million in daily buybacks and price went brrr. Imagine when CZ channels the whole $12 million a day in ASTER buybacks. You are not ready. And I mean, I agree, the metrics here on this, annualized, they would be doing already about 50% of what Hyperliquid's doing. So by a basis there, you see Hyperliquid at $15 billion circulated market cap. And then we see here the circulating market cap of ASTER is at $3.5 billion. So it's about 20% of the Hyperliquid circulating market cap at this point in time, which I think that repricing continues. We can see the strength here on the daily. The market simply had a small turn and ASTER is leading the charge. And look, I can understand if you are a little bit nervous about buying this token at this point in time, jump into the DEX and just start playing around with it. Hold your ASTER here, make some trades, use this as your perps DEX during this point in the market, because in 2 weeks they are dropping out 4% of the supply. And if you need a team to join, we have one of the biggest, one of the best teams on Hyperliquid, on ASTER here for this upcoming airdrop, and you get 10% off your trading fees if you use the link down below in the description. We have over 300 people. We have the highest multiplier you can have as far as a team goes. So check out our link down below if you are farming this airdrop. Because look, as Miles says here, there's so many tokens nowadays. In the past 2 weeks, we had ASTER, Stable, XPL, which, by the way, Plasma went absolutely crazy. XPL yesterday launched at like 70 cents. Now it's at $1.35. There are numerous selectivity in this market is winning, which is why we hold select positions, but then we keep stables on the side to be able to execute on these types of trades. Now we see MetaMask teasing a token. Buying and holding a bunch of alts nowadays makes less sense. That's why we've consolidated our portfolio tenfold. Like, we used to hold a ton of tokens because it used to be the type of environment where if you're in a narrative pumps, everything pumps and you're good. But now the market's changed, right? Selectivity, trades, sizing up appropriately. Capital is very keen to concentrate on strong narratives and trades. Will continue to be a profitable venture for the near future. And this has been my priority recently. I'm way more sized into my highest conviction plays, you know, the hypes, the 𝗬𝗎s, etc. of the world. I think those will play out very nicely. I have smaller allocations now into smaller AI coins, RWAs, gaming, whatever the case is. But right now I'm focused on trading these short-term narratives and short-term swings, whether it be ASTER, Plasma, etc. These are the best opportunities in the market, the short-term strength trades, right? The consensus trades almost you're seeing across the timeline. The momentum that they've created is insane. So having that capital on the sideline to be able to deploy in these opportunities is very, very important. So that's what I'm playing the market right now. I have my spot position on ASTER from 20 cents. I'm also leveraged on ASTER. I'm leveraged on XPL since 85 cents. So a few of these trades, these are the types of things you have to take advantage of when the market presents itself to you. And sometimes you just can't overthink it, right? The easy trade sometimes is the best trade in the market. And that's what's proven itself over this last week. And in the coming weeks and months, there's more opportunities. We're going to have the lighter TGE. We're going to have EDGX. We're going to have Abstract, MetaMask, OpenSea, Meteora. So there's plenty of opportunities coming up for these major narratives, airdrops, trades, etc. So it is definitely time to be locked in. And the ones who are terminally ready to go, having stables on the side, not having to switch around, you know, positions and scale down to be able to get into another coin. Keeping stables on the side is a blessing. Just think of it like a little savings account on chain, and then you can deploy it in these opportunities, because over the next few months, we have a ton of them on the horizon. But more so today, the 4 DCAs that I like if I'm adding to positions are 𝗕𝗏, as well as Pengu and 𝗕𝗏. But more so, I'm so much more focused on my short-term trades here. That's what I'm focused on in the market currently. If you enjoy the content, as always, guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. I will be back on Monday Monday with another full week of content here on In the Game. Y'all have a great weekend. Like the video, subscribe, play well, my friends, trade responsibly, and of course, please, in this climate, stay bullish, my friends.